This chain link fence protects the remains of the town of Dearfield, Colorado.
This was the gas station with gas pumps out in the front.
University of Northern Colorado professor George June has spent the past 3 decades working to save what has survived from this once thriving agricultural town.
We have O.T. Jackson's name in the wood, so we know that this is original.
O.T. Jackson was an African-American promoter who wanted fellow African-Americans to have a piece of the American dream.
Owning a home is more than just having your own space. It's also something that you can give to your children, your grandchildren.
He founded the town of Dearfield in 1910 to give African Americans a place to thrive in the American West, in a time when they were still viewed by many as second-class citizens.
Denver was a segregated city, so black people could only live in certain areas such as 5 Points.
Dearfield quickly prospered.
Almost anybody who was African American knew about Dearfield. They had their own farms, they had their schools, their churches. It was pretty much a self-sustaining community.
The town enjoyed unwavering success for nearly 20 years, until an unforeseen cycle in the weather would spell its demise.
The Dust Bowl comes in and takes out everything. About a quarter of the farms in the United States, a quarter of them went under. The people at Dearfield did not do anything wrong. It's just that the knowledge wasn't there at that time about these rain cycles.
The settlers scattered with the winds. By 1950, little remained.
It was pretty well forgotten about.
The story of Dearfield would have faded with the buildings were it not for June and fellow UNC professor Robert Brunswick.
Not only fascinated by the history, but also fascinated by the opportunity as an archaeologist to bring my students out here.
The 2 professors began documenting the site with the help of the Black American West Museum, which now owns the site. The renewed attention led it to being listed on Colorado Preservation's most endangered list in 1999.
The more people find out about Dearfield, what we're finding is that there are people who are interested.
Linoleum has got to go.
In 2012, they started the Dearfield Dream Project.
We've been working to get grants. We've been working to preserve the buildings as much as we can.
There are only 3 buildings still on the property: O.T. Jackson's house, the gas station, and the lunch counter, though time has taken its toll on it.
When we started work at Dearfield, the lunchroom behind me was still standing, but age and weather wait for no one.
Their efforts are beginning to bear fruit. The site recently received a $500,000 grant from the National Park Service.
So these 2 standing buildings, the filling station and the Jackson House, are going to be stabilized. The exteriors and the roofs and the sidewalls are going to be repaired and painted.
It's a healthy boost, but there's always more to be done.
It's more of a process of persistence than anything else. You take small steps and you take big steps, and whatever fits in.
This is the second house.
For June, the emerging fruits of their decades-long pursuit fill him with hope.
I didn't think anything was going to come of it. And now Dearfield is starting to have a second life.